sport tonight. It's a South American special. I've got some South American music. I hope this is South American. Sorry for the delay. Guillermo May, Auckland FC striker, is joining us. Welcome, Guillermo. How you going, mate?
Hey, thank you for the music, for the welcome, and thank you for calling me to be here.
That's okay. This would be South American, wouldn't it? Latin?
I don't know. maybe the north part of South America, not close to my country.
Yeah,
it is different, isn't it? Like we talk about South American people, but it's a huge continent, so you're all very different. You're from Uruguay, is that correct?
Yes. I'm from Uruguay. Uruguay is, as Argentina and Chile, the country more in the south part of South America. But yeah, it's huge. It's pretty different between countries. Like Brazil, for me, is a whole continent.
Yeah.
Different language, different culture.
Yeah.
We are not even similar to the Brazilians.
No.
I'm talking about the Uruguayan people. And we are also different with the north part of South America. I think the closest people to us are the Argentinians, for sure.
Yeah, your neighbours, your big football rivals as well.
Yes.
Yeah, going all the way back to 1930, right? And the first World Cup, where Uruguay beat Argentina 4-2, I think.
Yeah, the first World Cup was played in Uruguay, and the grand final was Argentina against Uruguay. Yeah.
Wow.
good data, good memory.
Yeah.
Just say remember that.
I never remember where I leave my keys for my car, but I remember statistics about football.
All of Uruguay and how they achieved. Yeah.
That's right.
The same problem at home. We are all, my mother, and there's my dad and my brothers. We are all men, so we cannot remember anything about something in the day to day, but about football we can talk like hours and hours, and we can remember everything.
And did you start football from a very young age, Guillermo?
Yes. When I was a kid, like 3 years old, in Uruguay is really popular. It's the main sport by far, with the other ones, and there's called like a big system called baby football that is between the 3-4 years old till 11, 12. So yeah, they send you there. It's like a national league, and of course, is when you are like a little kid, doesn't matter how it works. Like if you win or lose, no one take care about. But even when you are getting older, it's like, of course, and yeah, it's a huge part of our life, the football, since we are kids. And I started as a young kid with 3 years old.
And then you progressed, and you were with Nacional Academy, and then went on to play for that team. And so, what was that like, starting as a professional footballer in Uruguay?
It's difficult. It's difficult because it's really competitive. I can imagine something similar here. I think with the rugby, maybe, or I don't know, because it's a huge competitive sport since you are a kid. So Nacional and Peñarol are the biggest teams in Uruguay, like the big clubs there. Imagine Auckland FC, Nacional. There's two, Nacional and Peñarol in Uruguay, and yeah, they start calling at the age of 12 years old, the players, and the academy goes between the 12 and when you get the first team. But the competitiveness is really big. Imagine they pick 40, 50 players for one division, and then you have like you start in the ninth division, then eighth, seventh, like till you get the first team. Yeah, there are lots of players that play along with you, and they are
They
not.
don't make it, yeah. And
They,
you played a couple of seasons in the Premier Division in Uruguay, correct?
yes,
Two
yes, yes.
seasons, 2 or 3
I
seasons.
I played the U20 Libertadores Cup. That is a huge
I
tournament
see
in
that.
South
Yes,
America.
you scored a hat trick in the final.
Yeah, yes,
Blimey.
yes.
Get that in.
It was good,
Yeah.
good times also.
Yeah, I bet.
And after that, before I made my professional debut in Uruguay, I went to Spain.
Mm.
I went to Spain on loan for a year.
Deportivo La Coruña.
La Coruña, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
How
Now
was
it's in
Spain
second,
for
second
football?
division, yeah.
Yeah, second
West
division.
part
Yeah.
of Spain, Galicia.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
big football club. You played in the reserves mainly that year. Was that right?
Yes, I play in the reserve team. I was training with like some players of us, like training with the first team, but playing with the reserve team every
Yeah.
game to
Yeah.
get minutes to develop. I don't know, like confidence in the club and that. And that was in 2018 and 2019.
Beautiful. And then you sort of went back to Uruguay, I believe,
Yeah,
for a
our
season or
season
so.
was a bad season.
Yeah.
The Deportivo La Coruña get promoted in the relegation zone through the division, and then when that's happened, you start thinking about, is my real plan to keep here and in this division, or coming back and try to develop in the first league of Uruguay. It was a difficult decision.
And so you went back to Uruguay from
Yeah.
Spain.
Yes.
Yeah. And did you go? You were with Newell's Old Boys in Argentina. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After that, I played four years in Uruguay in 3 different teams.
Yep.
1 year in Nacional, 1 year in Cerro Largo, and 1 year in Danubio. And I reached my best level in Danubio. And after that, they bought me from Newell's Old Boys in Argentina. When I was playing in such a good level in Danubio, they bought me from Argentina. Yeah.
Very famous club. Very famous club.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diego Maradona. I think Lionel Messi was there when he was very young, and
Right.
Diego Maradona when he was very old.
Big names. Big names.
Big names. Gabriel Batistuta.
Yeah.
Angel Di Maria, and Marcelo Bielsa, and of
Yes.
course Maurizio Pochettino. I'm a Spurs fan, so
Yeah.
Is this the moment where we can get our links in, because we even little Birmingham City had a Uruguayan. Walter Pandiani, if that rings a bell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Birmingham City, Guillermo?
I love English football. So
there you go. There you go. See, we are known. Yeah, it's funny because there must be a link, because we got Walter Pandiani from Deportivo La Coruña, so there must be a link between Uruguay and Deportivo, because he went to that.
Between Uruguay and Deportivo, yes, they were lots of players that play there. In like I can remember, if you remember Sebastián Abreu, from the national team of Uruguay in 2010.
Okay.
Also, there are lots of players, but Pandiani is one of the most remembered guys in that team. The problem is that in England, there's not so many players, so many Uruguayan players in playing in the English football.
Wow. Yeah.
The most famous was Suarez in recent
Suarez,
times.
yeah, that has to be him. Yeah.
He was in England. We have a thing called a pantomime. You know what a pantomime is? And at Christmas, there's always a baddie, like a villain, like a
Yeah.
bad guy in the pantomime. And
Yeah,
Luis Suarez was like a pantomime villain. You know, he was the bad guy
Yes.
of football. I mean, he was a beautiful, of course, amazing footballer.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
But
fantastic.
other clubs fans did not
I
like
remember.
Louis.
I was a young kid and I used to wake up and watch his games. Of course, for Uruguayan football, is like a hero. But I know that in England was something that was not good
Yeah.
between Suarez and
No.
the people there. Yeah.
He had a big energy about him.
He was good.
Um,
Yeah.
And so, Guillermo, so you go back to Uruguay. You have some time, some more loan teams, and then so last year, how did the Auckland FC thing come about for you?
Wow, good story, because I even know all the story of how did they get me. But football nowadays, I think, is more about data and scouting. So to match a player, all the clubs like look for some characteristics or some. We need, in my case, we need a striker with who can be our reference in our team. I think they may have a little of experience, but also not so old, because the other foreign players, they were like older people like Hiroki or Felipe or something, and they were looking for, I think, a guy with my characteristics, and they call one guy who is like not my agent, but he used to help me with the movements, because I don't have an agent nowadays. I prefer to move by my own. And they contact him. He asked me if I would like this chance. We start talking. Of course, I said, yeah, maybe it's a good opportunity. It was something new, so for me, it was difficult to take the decision to come here. But I already knew the A League before.
Okay.
Uh, and the thing of making a big club in a big city, because of course Melbourne and Sydney are big cities, but after that in Australia, I think the main city, maybe in terms of people, is Auckland, maybe.
Yeah,
And,
we're about third. We're about same as Brisbane, I think. Yeah,
and they
third or
told
fourth.
me about what they wanted to do. After I say yes, maybe it can be a possibility. They told me about they wanna play for the championship. They wanna bring all the people in New Zealand or in Auckland to make a big club and to have really big crowds, as it happens now. So the moment they tell me, I really like. Of course, after that we have to negotiate about terms, conditions. This is football, and every time you are you are talking about everything, not only about the sport part or the living part. That I also knew something about New Zealand. It was a really good
Do you
lifestyle.
come
I like the
do you come
country.
alone or with a family? What's your?
Well, in the moment I make the decision, my brother was living in Australia,
Mhm.
in Queensland, yeah.
Okay.
And after I had my first conversation with Terry in the club, I called him and I say him, I'm thinking about moving to New Zealand. If I go to Auckland, you move with me or not?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I didn't see him since 2 years ago or 3 years ago, because he was living here. I
Okay.
was living in
Sure.
Argentina.
Yeah.
We were not
Yeah.
together for a few many years, and I was alone. I called him. For me, it was a really good experience to be together another time. And he said me yes, and he
So he's
came
come
with
over
me.
to live in Auckland with you
Yeah,
to be
he's
here.
living with me now.
Lovely.
Is that now?
The brothers, he said. Yeah. That's so
He's
cool.
here.
And so
That's
you
right.
you did the deal, and you've come into the A League, Guillermo, and you've played all 19 games in the A League. You've played. I looked at your stats: 1,659 minutes.
Yes.
You started every game you played, scored 7 goals, 6 with the left foot, 1 with the head.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah.
That's right.
That
Yep.
that left foot of yours, it's
Yeah.
it's a weapon. I've seen it.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
it is.
Do you like the
I
long
think
range efforts though? Do you practice these?
yes, yes, of course. My whole career, I think playing as a striker, you have to develop your long range or short range, but always be connected with the goal. You know, is the problem when you score too much, everyone will love you. When you don't score,
Yeah.
You're
hate
out.
you.
You're out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so, yeah.
Now I think my long range now is getting. I can do it more because I think at the middle of this season of uh, what we are playing of this season in the middle, we made a small change and Max
Mm.
started playing with me,
Yeah,
and that's helped me.
yeah.
In my whole career, I used to play as a second striker or like
It's the number 10. We call it a 10.
as
Yeah.
number 10.
Just
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And that helps me not only to receive the ball uh, in with the center back in my back, if not to play with the field in my front. You know, to receive,
Mm.
to keep the ball, to look
You
passing, to
seem
look
you
the
seemed
box.
much more comfortable in that 10 role than the 9 role you started in. Definitely. Would that be true?
Yes, yes, yes. And I think my stats are getting really are showing my best in this position and knowing the other. Of course, I want to play always. No, I'm a
You play anywhere.
I decide to be a football player because I love playing football. And if you put me as a right back, I will try to do my best, of course.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and the team was doing well since the start. So I was
yeah.
enjoying. Of course, my first games I was trying to be better every time and to have better stats and that. But the main thing in football is to win as a team, and we were winning. Now we still winning, we still top of the league, and I'm enjoying more playing with more
Yeah.
freedom.
Eight games undefeated.
Yes.
So yeah, you're winning, but also not losing, which is important. Um, when you sort of arrived at this football club, and the players came from all over the world, really. There's a lot of Kiwis, but a lot of from over the world. Some returning Kiwis, some Aussies. Did you sort of think how are we going to suddenly be a team and compete in this league? Did you worry about that before?
Yes, yes, of course.
Mm.
It was all new, and
Mm.
when we arrived, everyone has doubt about how it's gonna be, how the players will connect each other, and how the Kiwis will receive the foreign players, and how the foreign players can uh, bring all the experience from overseas to this club. Yeah, it was everything was a question, or I don't know how to say it in English, but
Yeah.
uh,
Up in the air.
yeah,
Up in the air. Yeah, that's a good
up in
Yeah,
the air.
English
Yeah,
expression.
it was
It was up
everything
in the
up in
air.
the
Yeah,
air. Yeah.
yeah.
And, after the first games, we start connecting each other. Of course, winning in football helps to make a unit, to be all
Yeah.
together, and that's what we make in these 19 weekends so far.
19 weekends, yeah. And
Yeah.
have you been surprised by the support? Because don't forget, Guillermo, we've had no professional football team in this city for 17, 18 years. And
Yeah.
No, no.
have you been kind of like surprised by how Aucklanders have got behind the team?
Uh, for me, it's unbelievable how football is growing here, and how nowadays you go to the street and you see people with the Auckland shirt or with something
Yeah.
about Auckland FC, you know.
Mm.
And with that, I'm talking about the crowd in the stadium is it's like something that we all know is the best team in the league. The first year is the best crowd in the league. Only in the year.
Yeah.
By a long way. By a long way.
By a fair way. Yeah.
Mm.
I play
Yeah.
in when not in all the stadiums now, but in maybe
I think you've been to all of
most
them.
of them.
Have you
And
been away to all of them? I think in the A League.
no, we have to play Sydney FC and Melbourne Victory. That I think they have good crowds.
Yeah, better crowds. I think. Yeah, but small crowds like in places like Central Coast and
But
places like that. Yeah.
nothing comparing with Port and the crowd of Auckland FC. Nothing compared. For me, it's a really different feeling to play home games than away.
Yeah,
It's a really different. Here, as the word said, you feel like you are at home. You know,
Yeah.
when you jump on the pitch and you start watching all the crowd and the pot coming down from the stairs, and that's for me.
That's cool.
You are coming from a football that has a lot of passion. You are here. You are getting a really, really, really good energy in this club. Really good energy.
Yeah.
Would you say the players have really used that support? Have the players? Does it spur you on that there's full stadiums, that there's the port there?
For me, it's one of the keys, of course. I'm talking about my position and playing with the support of the people, and it's like an extra player, you know. When you have the ball, you think that people is expecting as all of us to get good chances. When we are defending, you need to give a little bit more for them, because you don't want to disappoint our home people. And of course, it's like another player for us, and it's really, really different how our energy, our you can run a little bit more playing at home than away.
Yeah,
that's great. It's been really great to watch. What about some insights on the team? Who is the loudest in the team? Who's the guy that's banging his head against the wall and come on, give us it.
I would say Dan Ho.
Dan Hall.
Okay, yeah.
He's I think
He's been out for a while though.
he's coming back. He's coming back. He's
Nice.
He's right there.
yeah, and he's like a warrior. I used to say him like he's a warrior. He's the first for all, and he's also a crazy guy. He's always with the up energy, so he's amazing.
Yeah.
That is great. Yeah. So Dan Hall's the leader. What about the music in the dressing room? That's always the question. Who is in charge? Who's in control of the Spotify in the dressing room?
He's in charge. Michael Bowdy, the second keeper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Important job.
Really good DJ. Really good DJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good DJ.
And also, when we are at the gym, sometimes or before games, the PF Elias is a little bit jealous with preparing the games, and he want to put the music to do this, to do that.
Oh,
So
bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Nice. And who is the hardest trainer? Who trains the hardest?
Wow, good question. I have to say that it's one of the teams that I've been that they trains really hard every single time. Yeah, they are hard trainings. You have to run a lot. You have to be competitive, aggressive in duels. But in trainings, maybe the hardest one, I would say, Felipe Gallegos, the Chilean guy, he used to train a lot. Used to be
Right.
really aggressive in training. He shows the same as in the games. He run a lot. He's very competitive. Also, Callan Elliott, right back, he's really aggressive in trainings.
Okay.
And if I had to say one more,
The Strate, he comes across as someone, is he there?
yes.
Because he's super competitive on the pitch.
Wow.
Like,
What about you? What about you, Guillermo? Do you like training?
I prefer playing.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Yeah.
No, but
that's like me. That's how I was.
For me, of course, is something you will play as you train. You will not do magic in the game if you don't train anything. But my mentality is not the same in a game that in a training session. Of course, I try to go. I try to not be aggressive with my teammates. Last week, no, the other one, we have some days off, I think, and we made a football game between us. And I remember I tried a nutmeg with Louis Bestrade, as you were telling. And he was really angry with me after that.
I can see that. I can easily see that. Yeah.
But no, my mentality in the games is completely different as in training, of course.
And what sort of headspace are you guys in now? Obviously, we're a long way. I think we're 6 points top of the ladder. We've done some maths, which shows that we should win the Premier Plate.
Yeah.
The first. It looks like it would be very unusual if we didn't win that now. And then we go into like a playoff system and semi-finals and finals. That's going to be different again. It's like the end of the season. What sort of frame of mind is all the players in about this now? Are we sort of looking forward to the semi-finals and finals, or are we still every game as it comes type mentality?
In football, no one in a dressing room would tell you that he's thinking about semi-finals before winning Premiership, because it's something that, like, how do you say, when it's some
superstition? Superstition?
Yeah,
kind of like that, isn't it? Yeah, you don't want to tempt fate. Yeah,
I love to be honest. I don't like when they start talking about superstition and things. For me, we were the best team, but at the moment in the league, we are a really competitive team, and it's really hard to beat us. I think the other day we have a bad game as a team, and still we made a point.
In Newcastle. Yeah, I thought that was a really good point.
Yeah, it was.
Point.
Yeah.
But also
down to 10 men as well.
We were not good. We had 10 men. Alex saved a penalty.
He did.
And that's, for me, shows something that we are prepared to win the Premiership. Of course, we are coming into after 2 draws. So this weekend we have to win. It's a must. It's a must win in this weekend. I think if we win this weekend, we will be really close to win the Premiership. Last weekend, for me, we were playing against a really good team as Newcastle is nowadays. They have a really good. They are in a really good moment now. And the other teams
who's the best team that you've played so far? Who do you think's been the hardest
against them?
Opposition?
The hardest?
Yeah, against you guys.
I would say more than one. Western United are really good team. They pressed really well. They did. They have 11 players, like competitive players that will not allow you to play as you want. I think in tactical terms, Western United maybe are the best ones. Adelaide, for me, they have a really good football between them. They play really good. but you can damage them. They are not so aggressive as Western United. Like they can play through you. They can. They are really good. They are going to. You will run against them because you will have to fight for the ball, but they are also not so aggressive defensively, so you can damage them. And for me, there's one team that in our game we didn't suffer too much because some of the big players were injured, but playing them in a playoff, it's gonna be difficult because for me they have big game players as Sydney FC. If they reach the semifinals or the playoffs
or even the grand final. We're all dreaming of the
For
semi-finals,
me,
the grand final.
it's different. It's different because in the league you show you are the best team in the year, but playing a playoff is completely different. because
It's a
one
cup game. Yeah,
It's a cup.
yeah.
It's a cup game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes some big players can decide the game, and I think if I have to look the squads and the names, maybe Sydney FC has really big names for this competition.
Well, we've got a big name. We've got Guillermo May. You know,
No, of course.
Guillermo May's a big name in the A League now. Guillermo, you're doing well.
Of course we show. I think nowadays the other teams are more worried of us than we are more worried of them. But I still have to say that it's a really good league and it's a really good level in the other teams. We are doing good things because we are really aggressive, all of us. We are like warriors, as I told in one interview after the game. We are 11 players that we don't have a star. Maybe the star is Hiroki, and also he's a right back, so he's gonna be a warrior. He's gonna win duels.
He gets a few goals as well, Hiroki. He gets a few.
He does. Yeah.
Like a striker.
So having 11 players that will be in every single time trying to win, it's gonna be difficult to beat us.
Yeah. I think you guys are gonna go a long way. I've got a few questions just before you go, Guillermo. These are about being here in New Zealand rather than the football. Okay, so it's like a citizenship test.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you some very Kiwi questions. How long have you been here? Like 9 months. Let's see if you can get. All right. Question number one, and if you can see the screen as well, I've got a banner.
I'll tell you what. I might not get some of these.
Here we go, Guillermo. What is a pavlova? And why is it so famous? What do you know about the pavlova?
It's a dessert, of course.
Yeah.
No?
Yes. What type of dessert?
I have to explain what is so famous. Why is so famous? That's a good question, but of course I've heard the pavlova before coming here. It's
You've heard of the dishes around the world, but there's a famous point to it here. Matthew, do you know why it's so famous? What's the big thing with pavlova?
Oh, God, jeez. I was worried that you were going to come to me.
He's been here 17 years.
Yeah, you can tell. Is it something to do with is it the ballerina?
Okay, I'm gonna let you know. So the pavlova is who invented the pavlova is disputed.
Okay.
It's disputed between New Zealand and Australia. So the New Zealanders and the Australians both claim to have invented pavlova, and there's a little bit of trouble over it, Guillermo. So just
I already listened that story. Yeah, I already listened.
Good information.
I will say it's a New Zealand.
He's beaten me 1-0 already.
Right, we've got another one. If you are asked to bring a plate and wear your togs and jandals, what is happening to you? What is happening? Bring a plate, wear your togs and jandals.
I love the way it's been phrased. Like, what is happening? What's going on?
We are going to the supermarket.
No, you're not going to the supermarket.
No.
You could go to the supermarket in your jandals, but not in your togs. No, not in your togs. And
No, not in
So-
the dogs. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're asked to bring a plate, what do you think? Let's break this question down.
Sorry, dogs is underwear. Dogs is underwear. Or what? What is the
Plate.
meaning of dogs?
Bring a plate. Okay, so togs.
Ah,
All right, so bring a plate means if someone says, "Hey, Guillermo, come to my house this weekend.
yeah.
We've got a swimming pool, right? Bring a plate. Wear your togs and your jandals. Bring a plate means. What do you think? Bring a plate means? It's so complicated. I know.
This is so hard. I worry if I go to Uruguay, this is the kind of stuff that you get. Yeah, it's yeah.
I don't want to be embarrassed or something. I don't know.
No, you don't. Shouldn't be embarrassed. You don't be embarrassed. I'm
I know.
helping. I'm helping. All
I
right,
wanna know this.
Matthew. What happens if you're asked to bring a plate in New Zealand?
You have to bring a plate of food.
It's just bring a plate of food. You have to
share with
you have
everybody.
to bring a food to share. Food to share. Yeah. So everyone will bring a plate, and everyone will bring a food of something different. Bring a plate.
And you can
Right?
share.
So you bring a plate. That's kind of obvious. Wear your togs. Wear your togs.
Is this back? Is this
Matthew, go on then. If
Oh, to
Guillermo
me?
can't get it. Yeah.
I tried to do the old. It's you'd wear them if you're going to go swimming. So like
Your
a swimming
bathing suit.
costume.
It's your
Bathing
swimming
suit.
costume. Your speedos.
Yeah.
So you wear your swimming costume, your togs,
Oh, it's
and your and jandals. Jandals. Do you know? Have you heard jandals yet, Guillermo?
No, never.
No. These are around the rest of the world. They're known as flip flops.
Havaianas.
For your feet. Flip flops.
For my feet.
Yeah. So Kiwis have very strange words for things.
Jandals, dogs,
Jandals, togs, bring a plate.
Who knows?
All right. Remember it.
I learned something new because it was impossible for me.
You will thank me. You will thank me. And I've got one more.
One more.
Hold on, one more. Here we go. If a New Zealander asks you to come to the batch with them, is this good news? And where would you be going? A batch. If I said, Guillermo, come to my batch.
I love all around the world when you're confused. It's this. I do that a lot at work. People will come to me with a problem, and I'll be like, "Oh my god,
what's this?
Yeah, what is
Kiwi,
going
teaching
on?"
you Kiwi, you know?
Yeah.
Any? Do you want to guess? I want you to come to the batch. Come to my batch. No, it's hard. It's a hard one.
I tell you,
It's a
there's
hard
no. If I'd have been here, I would have had no idea.
House is not gonna be the house because batch.
Ooh.
It's close.
Oh yeah.
It is a house. I'm going to let you know. It's a house, but it's your holiday house.
Your holiday house.
Yeah. If you have a second house, or you can rent a batch. You know, you can go on holiday, and a lot of people go and they rent batches and houses.
Where does New Zealand people go in holidays? And where do they have their batch?
The batch. Well, where would you have your batch, Matthew? Where would you have? If I could choose, where would you go?
I think most common Aucklanders would probably have one on the Coromandel.
The Coromandel.
That would be very common.
Yeah, batch on the Coromandel.
But I would go Waiheke Island if I could have one.
Batch on Waiheke Island.
Batch
up north, anywhere up north is beautiful. Northland.
Yeah.
Mount Manganui, no, it's too far away from here.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
You could have a batch. You could have a batch there.
Yeah. That's definitely
all right. The last one. If a Kiwi tells you they're keen as for something, what does this mean?
If I get this, they are
keen as. I'm keen as.
They are the perfect ones to do that or something or no?
Yeah.
It's kind of it kind of like if you said to me, "Hey Dale, we should go for a beer together," I'd say keen as, which means I'm really keen. Like keen means very excited, like very, very you want it, you're excited about it.
Yeah?
Keen as.
What?
Keen as, yeah. Keen as. If one of your teammates say, "Hey, do you want to go for coffee?" You say keen as. Yeah. This is
We should
brilliant.
hit with that. You
Oh,
should,
I
you should,
will-
you should
I
hit
will
them
do
with
it.
that in the.
Also, I will do it.
Yeah.
Peanuts.
Yeah. that-
Peanuts. All right, Guillermo. This has been absolutely
There you go.
a heap of fun talking to you, and
Yeah.
it's great. It's great to have you on. Really enjoyed your company, mate.
I really enjoy talking with you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
And also I learn things.
You've learned. We've taught you something. Best of luck. Best of luck if we don't talk to you again before the end of the season.
I hope
keep
that we can
keep going
talk
hard.
another
Keep
time.
going hard. Yeah, we're there with you.
Yeah. Maybe when we win the Premiership, we can talk another time.
Let's get some beers. I'm
Yeah.
keen as.
Yeah.
Peanuts.
Peanuts. There
We
you
will
go.
go. We'll go to the batch. We'll go to the batch to celebrate.
Yeah, exactly.
Over
Oh my,
talks.
oh my God. That was so good. That was very good.
All right, Guillermo. We'll say goodbye to you. We'll get on with some other stuff. But beautiful to hear from you. Good luck,
Thank
mate.
you. Thank you for
Alrighty.
inviting me, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Good
Lovely
night
to
to
meet
you.
you. All right. See you later.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
man. See you later.